So, the year's 2022, about February. Your boy has the biggest art block of the year. And then I'm just like, what am I gonna do? And then, Pokemon decided to drop the Gen 9 reveal trailer. So I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, you know, Spanish region, you know, it looks good. Then I see the starters, and I'm like, these little adorable Pokemons, and I'm just like, all right, I think I could actually cook up some of their evolution designs. So I did that. So let's just get straight into it, man. So my evolved form of Sprigatito, here we go. So this is what I did. So first of all, I gave him the name Gato Busto, which is Spanish for cat bush. In hindsight, this is a terrible name because for obvious reasons. I don't want to, let's keep it PG-13, but let's just keep it rolling. All right, anyway, so looking at his design, I gave him the patterns of like Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. I just thought, just bring back the OG patterns. I also wanted him to be on all fours. Pokemon, in recent memory, a lot of the stars are just on 2 feet. I'm just like, this guy's literally a cat, just, you know, let him be on all fours. I kind of stole Torracat's build. Literally, it's the same pose I just took and masked over that. Yeah, but I made him a bit longer. Yeah, you know, just to kind of add a different flavor. Shout out to Torracat for that. Even though I didn't really pick Torracat when I played Sun and Moon because I like owls, man. Owls. But that's a story for another day. So with his paws, I just thought the claws kind of can look like roots to the bushy paws. That was the design idea for that. Yeah, man. I also decided to give him the big bushy tail to kind of like spruce up the design, I want to say, the mid stage. But you know, the animal influence for this guy was actually the Iberian lynx, which I had to look up. And if you see, they kind of have these kind of long, like, I don't know what to call them, whiskers. It's just a long bit of fur that stretches out. And with the design, I kind of thought they were going to do the whole mask thing anyway. So I thought I could do the mask in the style of like the Iberian lynx. That was the main like focus for the Gen 2, Stage 2. I'm bugging. So yeah, so pretty simple design. I think the mask is obviously the standout. The heavy influence being the Iberian lynx. And I think it's an animal that's kind of local to Spain and Portugal. I could be super wrong, but yeah, that was a big inspo behind that. Just have a Pokemon that has in real life lore, kind of. And yeah, man. So that's how that went down. Okay, so moving on. The final evolved form, I kind of wanted him to look like a lion. So I used Entei for references for his paws and the body pretty much. And I wanted to just go with the flower mane. It just felt like the safe option for grass type. So give him a big flower mane, his head's in the middle. I also wanted to give him an electric like pairing for the typing, just because it hasn't really been done, and I just thought, you know, why not, you know. So I gave him a floral pattern on the body, which are basically pluses, to try and illustrate the electric typing. They're pink when he's kind of neutral, but if he's using like electric attacks, they kind of light up yellow. I think my thinking behind this was, okay, cool. Even though he's a grass type, the pluses, they glow. So it's like, what's this animal? There's an animal, animals use this in nature where it's almost like a luminescent color, like, but my thinking behind it, or to the law, is going to be like, yeah, he gets his prey by like lighting up, and like they're kind of like in a trance, or like, I don't want to say hypnotized, but like, you get what I mean. There's like, what's the name of this fish? There's a fish that does, I'm just going to post a picture, kind of lures in prey with that. So that was the double thinking. But overall, I think it was like a safe design. I didn't want to do anything crazy. And there's a problem that I get into with the fire type design where it's like, it borderline looks like Digimon, but we'll get to that. But yeah, but for this, simple, this one I want to go with. I named him Razor Tooth because I'm bad at naming stuff. So yeah, man, that's it. I think it works well. But yeah, if you like it, you know? Okay, moving on to the little fire starter. That's gross. Yeah, I gave him the name Litterdale because he's, yeah. Also, when I look at Fuecoco, he kind of looks like an apple to me. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who's had this thought. He's got like the weird yellow pips at the top. So I thought, okay, he's a fire type. Maybe he'd like evolve into like some sort of pepper or chili in his design. In hindsight, this probably wasn't the case. It was not. But I thought, okay, I'm gonna base his body around the chili. And I think this is actually like maybe the poorest of the designs because I didn't really base him on a Pokemon or any animals. I didn't really look at the body for that. I just thought, yeah, let me give him a chili shaped body. But yeah, I think my heaviest influence was the kind of the Day of the Dead's mask, which I guess I kind of like nailed in terms of where they were going with the design. But yeah, I gave him a skull. What else? I should have given him a ghost typing because that's what he eventually got. But I wanted to save the ghost typing for the water type. Yeah. So I think this design is, again, it's pretty basic. I mean, the main thing is the Day of the Dead, and his body shape is quite chilly. His legs and arms, I didn't put too much detail into those because sometimes mid-stage forms, I'm like, just keep it simple. So that's what happened with Litterdale over here. Okay, so for the final form of the fire types, I called him Gladiator. Again, amazing name. But I think what I wanted to do was take the whole Day of the Dead mask and just transform it in an odd way. This is where the design gets into Digimon territory because it's like,
Moth, you didn't notice I played a polymerization card.
But I thought...
If I have two compatible monsters on the field, I can use my polymerization card and fuse them into one ultimate creature.
Even though there's still types and there's Pokemon that have, you know, a normal body, but there's still types in different elements, I just think maybe the eyes for the design makes it look super Digimon-like. But yeah, but I just thought I'll have him on 2 legs for his final form. He's got the dual steel typing. Do you know what I think it is with this design here? Obviously, I went with the pepper, but like, I don't know what it is. But to me, like, I likes the design, but I can't. This is just turning into a rant about how he looks like a Digimon. I think if I was to change it, maybe the eyes, the glowing eyes are a bit, you know, Skullgreymon-esque. Skullgreymon? I forget Digimon, man. But yeah, this design, I don't know. I wasn't a massive fan of it. I didn't hate it, but, you know, I think it does the job. Yeah. Didn't really add any lore to him because I don't know if crocodiles and alligators are native to Spain. I don't think they are. So I didn't really do much in the way of lore. I just thought he looks like an apple, turn him into chili and a pepper, and that's it pretty much. So yeah, so moving on to the final set of starters, Quaxly. I think I saved Quaxly till last because he was definitely my favorite of just the base starters. Look at this guy, he's got his little sailor hat on. Maybe I just like birds, but like not pigeons. But yeah, so Quaxly, his evolution, I call him Patoon because pato is Spanish for duck. Shout to Pocoyo, that's the reason I know that. And Platoon, again, we're on a pun game. My pun game is just undefeated right now. So yeah, I thought Platoon, simple name, it works. So my main thing with him is I wanted to build on his kind of sailor aesthetic. So again, the Digimon territory. Like I gave him boots, and he's got the kind of like W logo on his hat, and I wanted to incorporate that. It kind of looks like waves, kind of looks like seagulls. I don't know, but I just gave him the double W, I'll call it. And yeah, I gave him so his wings actually are like how he channels his like water moves. And I gave him a hook on the, so it was kind of like a pirate vibe I was going for. I think I looked at Golduck for the build, just because Golduck kind of looks like a mid-stage evolution anyway. So I looked at Golduck, gave him the Golduck build, I remember. And yeah, I was gonna say about this guy. I think that was it, man. I think make him like a pirate. That was the thinking. So he's got the water hook. I hope it's clear in the design. Maybe that's the other thing. Maybe he should have been white to illustrate the water coming out of his wing and his arm. But yeah, but the main thing was he's kind of like a pirate basically. Yeah. Okay, so for the final evolution, and I can't lie, this is where I felt like I truly cooked, yeah. I named him Duck Armada. Again, the name is terrible, but the thinking is this is Spanish region, so he's a duck, and he had the pirate. What I meant to say was he had the sailor aesthetic. So then I was thinking, okay, so it goes from a sailor to a pirate to a ghost ship. So the concept, the whole thing for his design was he's kind of like a ghost ship Pokemon. So I gave him the dual ghost typing. But what I love about this design, yeah, is just the anchor water wings. I'll get another illustration up where it kind of shows how they work, because I know I needed 2 illustrations to kind of make sense of it. But I like the fact that it's simple, because I think at this point I was just thinking I really don't want him to look like a Digimon, so I'll try to keep it as simple as possible with the like fantastical elements that make it a Pokemon. So I gave him the kind of anchor coming out the chest, with the wings, and my thinking was, okay, he can use the wings as his form of attack, similar to the prior stage where he shoots the water from his arms/wings. Now it's like now he has the full use of using the water moves via his wings. And yeah, I gave the kind of arrow anchor for his forehead. Again, this is just to kind of replace the hat, but keep the consistency of, I don't just want it to be a duck. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, but I don't know what else to say about this, because again, this design is super simple. He's just a big duck. You know what I mean? Like, but I think just the anchors was the biggest thing to make it look like a ghost ship. And his body is kind of not boat based, but he's kind of, I wanted him to look like a boat, just the shape, but then ducks kind of look like that, so then it's like, but yeah, I don't know. I think with this one, I for this one I didn't really take any elements from other Pokemon. I just looked at a duck, looked at a boat, looked at some anchors, and yeah, I had the idea of the face and the wings, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was it basically, man. Just to get the creative, juices flowing, man. I think for a first attempt for like concept Pokemon, I think it was all good. I think it was okay. I do want to try and maybe do that, because I've seen Pokemon Legends ZA, so I know the starters for those, and I know they're probably getting megas. So I might do some concept for the megas actually. We'll see. But yeah, man, listen, if you liked any of them, let me know. If you do art, give me the feedback. I'm here for it, man. Yeah, I think I'll also do a follow-up to compare them to the actual forms and see how they actually turned out. Also, I've got the receipts on the Instagram, just in case anyone wants to say, oh, you didn't really predict this or you didn't do that. So yeah, man. But listen, yeah, if you liked it, like it, and warm regards.